There's always a certain affirmation whenever you see somebody else do the same sort of work that you're doing, that whatever it is that we did must work. And so, I mean, that's kind of I don't want to say it's an ego stroke, but at least if you put a lot of hard work into something, you like to think that what you're doing actually makes a difference. Well, if other people around the country are also picking up on the same idea, then what we did and what we're continuing to do must make a difference.
The Prison Project New Orleans experience came about by the Fisher family. Noah Fisher was involved in the Prison Project the first year in 2009, and actually he was a featured soloist. Noah is visually impaired and has autism and was a great soloist. He sang "It's Not Easy Being Green" and brought down the house.
After that year, Kelly and Noah, they moved away. They moved down to New Orleans, and for several years they were trying to find something that would be similar to the experience that they had had here, which had been a really powerful one for Noah, and they were unable to. So Kelly, being the go-getter that she is, she decided, well, if I can't find one, I'm going to create one.
And so I reached out to Dr. Horrigan to see if Ball State might all be interested in helping provide us with the guidance that we needed to make this happen in New Orleans.
Ryan then contacted me to say, why don't we put in for a Provost Immersive Learning Grant, which we did. And they gave us some money so that we could gather a bunch of students together and take a trip down to New Orleans and spend a weekend mentoring not only the staff members that are down there putting this whole thing together, but also the buddies, the students who are going to be working with the kids that are there. And that's why we're heading down there, and it's a pretty exciting opportunity for everybody who's going.
Okay, so March 1st, we left Ball State University and rode a Ball State bus down to the airport, and we flew to New Orleans. On the first night we were there, we all gathered for dinner and talked about the next day's rehearsal. The next day, we traveled in 15 passenger vans down to their second rehearsal. This was only their second rehearsal that they had of the new Prison Project in New Orleans. And we worked, we split up. Some of the students worked as one-on-one buddies with their performers. Some of our students also helped in the music room, the theater room, or the dance room. We saw kids that were at risk, which is a whole different category of disability than we typically see. We have some kids that are at risk that are in our program, but not at the level that they do.
All of our performers are very different. We have individuals with all kinds of special needs and with varying levels of ability.
Perhaps in the future in New Orleans we could help the kids and their families and their educators understand the importance of music and dance and theater, and the idea that creative arts is a way for our kids to communicate and express themselves that isn't always traditionally offered to them, but may actually be a more successful route for them than more traditional.
My goal is for the children to learn dance, music, and theater, and with the hope of it building their self-esteem, their self-confidence, friendships, and helping them outside of the program. There's a lot of goals. Another goal is for our volunteers and our staff to really get to know our performers and become comfortable working with children with disabilities in the hopes that they will then go on and create their own programs. We
would like to expand it here in New Orleans. Ideally, by starting it here away from the Ball State campus, we will help establish a pattern so that anyone could take basically the bones of it and set it up in their own community.
And during this whole time, we've been working on updating our web content and web material, so then if we want to start a prison project in another city or another location, the people could easily have access to our materials, our organizational materials.
Ideally, it would be something that could be packaged so that in New York or Kansas or Oregon, if they wanted to make this happen, they could be given the same guidelines that we were given in order to do that.